everybody. I'm Lynn Hayes with DFWiTV, and I'm really excited to have a conversation with Mr. Frank McComb. How
What's
are you?
happening? I'm good. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I've survived the fire so far, so good on my end.
Well, just in case people say, well, wait a minute, what's the deal with Frank McComb? He is a singer, he's a musician, he's a record producer, he is a business owner. You have done it all. You performed with Stevie Wonder, George Duke, Frankie Beverly. I mean, everybody who's anybody. And they compare you to people like Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder, but you're Frank McComb.
Yep. I guess you could say I'm a jack of all trades and a master of all of them.
All right, Frank, you okay? So you said you've been doing this since you were 12 years old.
Yeah, I started piano at 12 with three lessons from my aunt, Evelina, who's passed on now. At 15, I was in the bars. At 17, I had my first trio. And at 19, I became the musical director for a group called the Rude Boys. And they were under the direction of Gerald Levert and Eddie Levert of the OJs.
People, and then you decided to, like, you know what, I want to do my own thing. Politics, money, is that what happened?
No, I came in the game mainstream. I left after touring with the Rude Boys, September of '91. I moved to Philadelphia to work with Gamble Huff and Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff. But it was in Philadelphia where I was found by a gentleman named Steve McKeever.
I remember.
A lot of people know Steve for signing Jill Scott to Hidden Beach,
Mhm.
and Jeff Bradshaw, some other people, but he signed me years prior to a company called Mojazz, which was a jazz division of Motown. And that's when my career started. I knew from the time I was probably 3 or 4 years old what I wanted to do for a living. I knew I wanted to play music. I wanted to be out front because I listened to music from the time I was a baby. That's all they played in the house was music. My mother, my aunts, my grandmother, they all sang. And it was always music played from Herbie Hancock's Headhunters to Stevie Wonder's Talking Book to Benny and the Jets from Elton John. Everything was played in the house. Oscar Peterson, Shirley Caesar and the Caravans, Billy Preston, Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, a lot of stuff. So I knew that growing up, but I was always drawn to the recording artists that played instruments. Billy Joel, Elton John, Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Roberta Flack, um, Billy Preston, Ray Charles. These guys played, and a lot of them played piano. And I watched my aunt Liz, my aunt Evelina play piano and sing. So I was fascinated with that. I knew what I wanted to do when I was little. I went independent in 2004 after my stint with Motown, after my stint with Columbia. I left Motown Records because they were bought out by a company called Polygram for millions of dollars, and the little guys like me were forgotten about. So Gerald Busby, Steve McKeever, they gave me the choice, which I thought was really cool. They asked me if I wanted to stay, if I wanted to leave. There was someone else coming in. And if you don't have favor with the president of the record company, you don't have favor with the company.
Don't I know?
Period. So I decided to leave. I got a call from someone who told me that Branford Marcellus was looking for somebody to head up his group called Buckshot LaFunk. Well, I ended up touring with Buckshot LaFunk. We ended up writing some songs. We worked on two albums, and the second album actually featured me more, which led to my deal with Columbia Records. So I signed to Columbia in 1988, did a great album, and it sat on the shelf all of '99, and because of politics again. And I guess Branford and the president of the company didn't get along once again. It was issues of politics that had nothing to do with me or the music. So in 2000, we finally fought the record label and got them to put the album out March 7, 2000. And a great album called Love Stories. And the record took off, but they said they weren't going to push it. They told us they weren't going to push it. So I say in all interviews, how do you give birth to a child and tell it to raise itself? It's going to die. But the people caught on, and people are still talking about that album like I just released it this year. Um, After that, I ended up hooking up with an indie label, and I won't even mention their name because bad press is good press for them. But I put out my sophomore album called The Truth, and I watched the album that I did for Motown in '95 that was never released get bootlegged for a lot of money over. It was then that I decided to go independent and start putting my own music out in 2004. And here I am, 2025, still independent. I was with the two mainstream labels, and neither one of them got me any exposure to radio, to videos, or anything. So going independent these last 20 years, almost 21, um, I've built my own cult following. I own my own catalog. I literally record, mix, master my own music to the best of my ability, and I release it directly to the public. My latest argument has been the fact that the streaming services have allowed people to listen to music worldwide for $15 a month, anything they want to hear for $15 a month,
Mm-hmm.
which means they're no longer buying music from the artist.
Right.
And now with us being independent, or should I say, I can't speak for other artists. I have to be honest because they don't speak up for me. So I'm gonna just keep it real. Once you've lost it all, there's no where else is there to go? I ain't afraid of much of nothing. Bottom line is they're not buying music directly from me. They're streaming my music, which is cool, don't get me wrong. But at least buy the music. With us being independent now, we're putting out our own music. I'm putting out my own music. So I would prefer that people come to my platform to get it from me, which is Bandcamp, frankmccomb.bandcamp.com. They can go there directly and stream it from me, and they can download it from me because the streaming services are paying us less than a cent, literally less than 1 cent. And I'm finding out that the guy that owns Spotify has made more money off of recording artists than any other recording artist has made in the world.
So do you do your own distribution? You do your own digital distribution and
Yeah, depending on I have to depend on the streaming services until I can get a stronger platform to where people, or a way I can get people to know I can drive those people directly to me. But right now it is strictly through my Bandcamp. I mean, well, I won't say strictly. I will say I'm strict about people downloading it from other sources versus coming to me.
I
That's my
don't know
main thing.
anyone that buys music anymore. And
That's
I think
sad,
a
ain't
lot of the artists are they're putting the music out to get gigs because being on the road is what's paying the bills these days.
Yeah, well, you got your road money, which is your quick money, and then you got your royalties and your catalog, which is your retirement money. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I see it. That's why I'm always putting music out. I'm always putting it out because it's still catalog. What if I get an opportunity for somebody to license it from me? They can come directly to me and not have to go through red tape because I own it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always putting music out because you never know when you're gonna get that call for a song to get placed in a movie. Or you know what I'm saying? I own it myself. Own your masters, or your masters will own you. Right? Catalog is where it's at. If you're gonna go independent, go all the way.
Go
Yeah,
look for that
absolutely.
Shuggie Otis story I was telling you about, because if Shuggie wasn't Prince before Prince was Prince, he was saying
Yeah.
the same thing back in the
Shuggie
70s.
Otis. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
can
cool.
we get to the Black Film Festival,
That's
the
a
Denton
Yeah.
Black Film Festival?
on the
This will be
20th.
my second time.
Yeah.
26th of January. Yeah.
Well, I'm emceeing that, so I'm really excited that you are going to be on the stage. You
Oh, cool.
haven't seen, he knows his stuff, but when he gets on stage, it's magic. It is just absolute magic. As
Oh man.
vocalist, just like you see Prince. I mean, he's on that same caliber of artist.
Okay. I've never seen you
Wow.
perform,
Thank
so
you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, cool. Well, the best way to describe the show is Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway meets Herbie Hancock, and George Duke, circa 1974. It's soul jazz, not smooth jazz.
I
Soul
love
jazz.
it.
I'm just so excited. I am a fan, so, and have been a fan for a time. And again, you say like kind of underground. It was someone that turned me on to your music, and then one time you came to Dallas. It was a while ago, and I'll never forget it. We saw you live, and then that was it. I was done after that. So,
Man.
Pearl, you're in for a treat. Everybody's in for a treat if they come to the Denton Black Film Festival. There's a lot of things going
Man.
on. February 22nd through the 26th, but Frank McComb is performing Sunday, January 26th. I mean, I'm like a kid. I've met everybody, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm actually going to be hanging with Frank McComb. So I am so excited, and I know everybody will be excited to see you as well. So I have to say, we are looking forward to seeing you, brother.
I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to being there too. I really am. I thank y'all so much. I really do. And and I got a new project I'll have with me. It's called Straight from the Vault, live at the Keystone Corner. I just recorded a live album on August 13th and 14th at the Keystone Corner in Baltimore. And the purpose of this album, I'm celebrating 20 years of the original release of Straight from the Vault. That's my third album, but it's the first album that I recorded completely on my own. And it's nobody on the whole record but me. And it's my third album, but the first one that won me anything ever. Best album of the year was soultracks.com, which is a very reputable station for soul music, or platform for soul music. Best album of the year. And I'm really proud of this record. I am, because the opening track on the original album is called White Line in the Sky. I call these things shorties. They're like little interludes, but they're too long to be interludes and too short to be songs. So I call them shorties. And last year. Now the record turned 20, but last year I was approached by a movie company. No, '03. I'm sorry. So it was 19. Record turned 19, and I was approached by a movie, and they asked me if they can take that song and put it in their movie after 19 years of releasing it. The movie is called If You Were the Last, and it's on Peacock, or it was on Peacock. 19 years later, and it gets in a movie.
That's
So
nice.
that is God. That is God and God alone. And
Yeah.
guess what? They came straight to me for all of the permission. They had to go through a third party and all of that. So
Well, I'll
own
tell
your
you
stuff.
what, we're gonna have to get you on DFWI radio and play the entire new album and talk
That's
about it
I,
in between the songs, because we can do that when we own the radio station. Okay,
That's what I'm talking about.
DFWI
That's what
radio.
I'm
So
talking
we're
about.
gonna make that a
Yes.
plan.
And if
well,
we can make this happen, I'll come down and sit with y'all, and I'll bring all this music with me.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's try to plan it. I'll get down to you guys, get on the air. I'd be more than happy. And,
Oh my God,
and,
yeah.
and let's do it. Let's do it.
we love
Go
you,
ahead.
Frank.
Okay.
Oh man, I love you guys too. In fact, we talked earlier today. I was programming my own radio show. They didn't get me radio, so I had to become the very thing I needed, radio. So I have a radio show that comes on every Saturday and Sunday, and it's called Frank McComb's Living Room, where it's all things Frank
Good.
McComb. So
We got-
I will see you guys. Let's get it in.
Absolutely.
Love you, Frank.
Love
right.
you back. I appreciate you guys.
You be
Thank you for
careful out there.
everything. I
All right.
will. Y'all take care.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.